Background blur disappeared again.
He's having a headphone thing. No, apparently that's Paul who's having a headphone problem. He just accidentally pushed the wrong button. Sec.
I've done that a few times as well.
Hello and welcome to Toy Soldiers Old School. This is episode 37, taking place in the Toy Soldier Saga universe. My name is Diane Morrison, also known as Sable Aradia, and I am the creator of the Toy Soldier Saga. And I play Celine Wintermist, Captain Celine Wintermist, who is in charge of this unit of Napoleonic sort of elven space marines, nominally anyway. She is an idealistic young priestess who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy and then the Marines in order to see the universe and maybe help some people out along the way. My and her pronouns are she or they.
Okay, Madrimlian.
Hello, I play Lilas Madrimlian. I'm Siobhan the writer. He is an altruistic elf who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy for family reasons originally. Has decided he wants to try and develop his own division for intelligence. So he started as a midshipman, has moved off to, a midshipman moved off to the Marines, where he is learning more about it. So I'm getting a better understanding of what the military and Navy is all about. My pronouns are she, her. His are he, they.
Okay, Yasma. Oh, Twinkle
Hi, I'm
Toes is
Donna.
raiding
Thank
a party
Yasmus.
of 8. More arson. Always need more arson. Good thing I allowed that word last time.
More arson. Yes, awesome. You're in the right place. This is the military, so there is lots of arson.
Yeah, they blow up a lot of shit.
Sorry, go ahead, Dawn.
Between blowing.
Are we in the middle of an introduction?
We are.
Yeah.
Okay, I was an orphan, and I've now since found my father and a couple of sisters with Crowley, and I even have myself a boyfriend.
Okay.
My pronouns are she, her.
And hers are?
She, her.
Okay. Crowley, my friend.
Hi, I'm Blake. I'll be playing the part of Crowley. Cat-like race of my own creation. The ship disturber. Now he's fallen in line with the rest of the Navy, and still a take no shit kind of guy. But you don't give much shit to a 3-foot tall cat. All right, our pronouns are he, him.
Yeah, okay. Von Ven.
Hi, I'm Rowan. I play Von Vin, Starsong. She's a pretty happy druid with a little bit of wisdom who joined the Avalonian Imperial Navy to see the universe and strange and wonderful plants and creatures and people and fly on starseed ships and has found some family and a boyfriend and occasionally she likes to stab people in the groin from behind her boyfriend meat shield. Her pronouns are she, her, and so are mine.
Okay. Arian.
Hi, I'm Chris. I play Arian. He's the grizzled older guy in the group. He's recently been promoted um, to the officer ranks, and he's got himself a girlfriend now and a whole new life compared to what he thought he had, which has turned out to be a bit more complicated than he expected. But hey, and our pronouns are he, him.
All right. Arden.
Hi, I am Taz, also known as Gmino99 on the internet. I play Arden Spellsword, a Kensai crafter who is a little too obsessed with crafting things. Mine and his pronouns are he, him.
And Lurik.
Hi, I'm Gareth. I play the part of Lurik, a no-nonsense gunslinger who had a mishap earlier on in life that left him with his now modified body. Mine and his pronouns are both he, him.
Okay, and finally I'm Aaron. I'm the game master. I control the action and the narrative. Right? I also play the part of Ruavel Sunfall, the man who is destined to become the father of the protagonist of the Toy Soldier Saga. Right? My pronouns are he, him. His pronouns are he, they. Right? Okay. So when we left off, can we have an intelligence officer's report?
If I might, before we start,
All right.
happy Valentine's Day, everybody. In honor of Valentine's Day, we're doing a surprise raffle that we did not announce, so haha, you had to show up, neener. And we are giving away a PDF copy of Eye of the Storm, which is a romance novella that takes place in the Toy Soldier Saga. We're about to start the giveaway. To enter, I believe you just hit ! raffle at any point, and we'll draw the prize before the end of the stream. Intelligence report away.
Intelligence log supplemental. We have just been given permission. We've just landed in Alasia Minor. Some of the staff have gone off on duties of their own, aka finding a place for us to stay. Some of us are on duty on the ship. We are going crazy today. How's that? What the plans are of everybody is, nobody knows at the moment. All we know is we've just gotten some new recruits. Well, some new Marines to take over for ship duties, and we are going to be doing a little bit of exploration.
Yep. Okay. Shut down the music. No fade out for that. That's fire up the sound effects. Elven City. Everybody enter the waffle. Yeah. It's supposed to have sound effects, but it's not playing. Yeah, that gives me some sound effects anyways. Okay. So you guys have just secured your lodgings, and we're reconvening on the ship, right, to get everybody together. And what were other people doing? Arian and I believe it was Xerxes, wasn't it? Went to go to the
Ruabel Xerxes stayed to do watch with Bonvin.
right.
Yeah, we'd gone off to the harbor's master's office. We'd gathered some intel on the pirates. We
Right.
reported back, and me and Celine had gone to the ship
Mhm.
and basically indoctrinated the new guys into the routine
Mhm.
and started their training. And I believe that's where we left off.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, so you guys reconvene on the ship, right? Your mom is still there. It's not unusual for her to spend the whole time in harbor on the ship.
Right, yeah, I'm sure I'm quite used to that by now.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what time is it when we all get back to the ship?
It's a little after 4. Would it be just the first bell of the first dog watch?
Right. So, mealtime.
Yep.
Are we going to eat in town or are we going to eat on the ship? Meals are included with our rooms at our lodging. And if they're used to Marines, they'll be expecting to serve us right about now, she says.
Maybe we should get back there.
Probably, she says.
Indeed.
Yeah, so we head back to, what the hell was the place called? It was something cool. It was a good name. I liked it.
Did you write it down?
Something like the
Welcoming Hearth, I
Hearthfire.
believe.
The Welcoming Flame.
That's it.
Flame,
The
yes.
Welcoming Flame. Is there a Bridget's Cross above the door, out of curiosity?
You asked me that already, and I said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do not remember the response, so fair enough. Ding dong! Somebody's home. If you don't want them to know you're home, turn off the fucking phone!
Yeah.
All right, so we head back to the Welcoming Flame.
Yeah, Ruavel tells some of the guards to take over for Xerxes and Vonvin.
Well, yep, we got new Marines now. They can take a shift.
Right. So you guys can come sew your gear and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll come traipsing into the inn.
Yeah. So you guys go traipsing into the inn with all the bluster of a bunch of Marines. And I think that music's too loud now.
I don't know, just a second, I'll tell you. I set up a monitor, so.
Doesn't seem too loud.
It is a little loud for Aaron's mic.
Okay, your beeper is beeping, babe.
Oh, thank you. I'll be back in just one moment,
Beeper
guys.
dot
That's
beep,
dinner.
babe.
Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back.
Okay. So, you pile into the inn. The innkeep greets you. She was a elf, wasn't she?
She was a changeling.
A changeling, yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, hello. We figured it was probably about dinner time, she says.
You'd figure right, I'm used to serving Marines here, she says.
I thought that was probably so, she says. It smells delicious, whatever it is.
She says, orange duck.
Oh, brilliant, she says. Thank you.
Good high protein meal, she says.
Sounds like just what the doctor ordered, she says. Well, great. Sit down to food.
Yep, food is brought out to you all. Right. She asked Crowley if she should skip the vegetables.
What was that?
She asked Crowley if she should skip the vegetables.
I do.
Okay, I won't put them on your plate then. Yeah, the food is delicious and well needed after a long day.
So what do you figure? Should we go look for a brother in the morning?
No, we could.
Sounds good to me. I'm given to understand we can find him at the Temple of Warlock.
Okay. Warlock, what an interesting name for a deity. Doesn't that mean something like a sorcerer in one of the human languages?
Yes,
I
something
do
like that.
believe that Warlock here, I think Dad mentioned some kind of a death god.
Oh, neat. Well, I mean, technically, if we have a death god, Aryan Rod is it. So,
Yeah, I suppose that's true. Says the right Ruvel. Ew, I'm dating a necromancer, he says.
I do believe
Yeah,
that our
she'll.
brother's official title is
Lord High Reaper, if I remember correctly.
Yep, I'm pretty sure that that's what Dad said his title was the Lord High Reaper.
Interesting, she says.
But apparently they also preside over births as well, because he indicated that that would be the person to verificates. Something in their right mind would dare contest his signature or his verification thereof.
I get the feeling like our brother is kind of scary, she says.
I'm glad I'm not dating
Considering
one
that
of
he's
you.
than us, his dad is and our father can be kind of scary. Why would our
Well, we definitely. Okay. What was that, Yasma?
I just said good point.
My brother looks at Arian, Xerxes, and Rovo and says, "Good luck."
Well, he
says,
is
"I
going
don't
to need it, says Celine.
I am? He says.
Oh, come on now, she says. I don't scare you at all, she says, raising an eyebrow.
No. Why would I need to be afraid of your brother? If he is the Lord High Reaper, then I should have less to fear of him. I'm dating his sister.
That's a good point, but I'm pretty
I have
sure
a lot
that
to-
Madrimlian meant it's us you should be afraid of.
Oh. Because I figure I'd have a lot more to fear of him if I dumped you or something.
Exactly. You heard her? He'll come after you, probably. He's likely to come after you.
Oh, he's never met us. He's not about to go traipsing off to murder people because they, made his sister cry.
Well, at least we don't know that for sure, but yeah, okay.
Well, I mean,
We've never met him. We don't know how he'd react.
looks over at Arian just quietly shoveling food into his mouth or whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
Yep, he looks up and he says, I don't know what I got to be afraid of. She likes me. I like her. Nothing's changing right now.
Exactly. That was my point, says Ravel. If I dump you, then might have something to worry about. Xerxes says, I can outrun him.
Well, we've never met him, so we don't know that for sure, she says.
You don't know how fast I can run, he says.
That's true. I don't know how fast you can run. Well, that's true. You do have a bunch of siblings, don't you?
No, but my girlfriends do.
Oh, well, that's a good point. You probably refined that skill. He probably has too. I'll have to murder Rugal in this bed if I decide. I mean, what? Nah, it's all good. I mean, honestly, we don't even know where things are going at this point, she says. But I'm having fun for the time being, so it's all good, she says.
Oh, yeah. Just have to bug people, that's all.
Oh, it's absolutely, she says. And rightfully so. Make them nervous. It's good for them, she says. Grins.
What if that works for your brother, too?
What, make him nervous?
Oh, yeah. Or jealous. She's your daddy's favorite.
that he has a
Don't
favorite.
think.
I don't think he does either. I'm just.
I did not get that impression at all.
No.
I'm his favorite, says Crowley.
That's probably true.
Yeah, you're his favorite phenom right now.
Yeah.
Well, if he's a necromancer, don't you think he'd be more
Supper
accurate
is
at night?
delicious. Thank you.
You're welcome, she says.
Dad didn't time.
Not necessarily.
So
Things and people expire at all times of the day and night.
That's true, but when you gotta dig up corpses, it's easier to do in the dark.
Only if it's a bad thing.
True.
Yeah, we don't know what the rules are here. We don't know what the role of the Lord High Reaper is.
Next, Imogen was about to ask the waitress.
The barmaid?
So, what do you know about, or the barmaid? Yeah, what do you know about the Lord High Reaper?
Oh, Esteban,
And
she
the
says?
religion. Yeah.
Oh, he's a darling, she says. He's the nicest guy you ever want to meet. She says.
He comes in here frequently, does he?
Not frequently, but he has been known to. And he's been known to check around everyone. She says, when I gave birth to my daughter, she says he was here to help deliver the baby.
Nice.
Right? She says. He takes all that sort of thing very personal.
Huh. So we were just discussing when would be the best time to try and
Get a hold
meet
of
him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there is any best time. There's no bad time. He doesn't sleep, I don't think.
Interesting.
Because he's always active day and night. I've seen him active in the middle of the night, middle of the day.
Maybe he's just a chronic insomniac.
Possibly. Everybody's under the impression he doesn't sleep.
Okay.
Nobody's ever asked him that I know of.
Well, would you want to ask someone whether they sleep or not? If they could actually decide it's time for you to perish?
Oh, he can't do that with me. Only with O'Leary.
Ah.
I think. She says. Don't quote me on that.
I won't.
But she says if you want to go meet him, she says the Temple of Warlock is the best place to go. That's the big black building.
Well, maybe we should go by tonight.
I think we should.
Yeah.
sounds like a plan.
Okay, let's do that when we're done dinner then, she says.
Okay.
You coming, Mariama?
She says, sure, why not?
Cool. Just, you're sitting there rather quiet, so.
She was. I am a little uncomfortable out in the light of day like this.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even think of that, she says.
No, it's not my eyes or anything like that. It's people stare.
Are people staring?
There's people that look like they're not staring, if you know what I'm saying.
Uh-huh.
Maybe they're purposely not looking at you.
Crowley will lean over and go, that's just because we're sexy.
He's He's got a point.
She goes, well, you certainly are, and she scratches him under the chin.
He raises his head a little with a grin.
Well, finish eating.
Yeah, she eats.
Yep.
Her anxiety has not made her hungerless, anyways.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I guess we'll head to the Temple of Warlock afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, so you guys walk up to the temple gates. All right, they're open. All right. Around the temple is a graveyard. All right.
It's a temple we expect.
Yeah. All right. Well, the difference is that it's the whole graveyard. Like the whole thing is a graveyard. Oh, hello, Isong.
Hello, Isong.
Right? You know, the whole grounds is a cemetery. It's not just there's a cemetery on the grounds. All right.
Right. We'll try not, try to walk along the paths, right? Not mess with people's graves.
Isong, there's a waffle going on. If you want mature content. I don't know if you read that sort of thing.
Yes, surprise raffle today for
Surprise waffle.
I think she already has that one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay, I thought she might have. Yeah.
It is our surprise Valentine's Day waffle because we love you guys.
That's right. So we felt like it. So there.
Okay.
Head to the Temple of Warlock. Go through the grounds. Describe the temple.
Okay, as I say, the grounds of the temple are a large cemetery. There's mausoleums and graves with large headstones marking them. Some with small headstones. Right.
So it's worth noting that the Illyri bury their dead. They don't cremate them like most elves do.
Mm-hmm. Or they might. Some of them might. Right. There are places in the cemetery for like small lock boxes, basically. Cemented in stone plates on the front of reliquaries.
Right.
Right. To house ashes.
Okay.
Right. The plates are basically a headstone. Right. And there's wall of them. Right. What shocks you is the sheer size of the graveyard. Right. The cemetery probably houses 100,000 graves. It's about a kilometer across.
Wow. Okay, she's gonna look and see if a bunch of them died at the same time now. I'm curious.
This goes on forever, eh?
Yeah. And yes, you think it is a memorial cemetery. A lot of them died on
Well,
the same
Dad
day.
did say that there was a very large, vicious war
Right.
involving dragons.
That's right, she says. I'd forgotten. Well, I didn't forget, but I guess my brain didn't quite connect it for some reason. Yeah, of course. Amazing that they buried every one of the dead, she says, in their own individual grave.
A person you didn't even notice standing there says to you, actually, the staff here did it all themselves.
She looks.
Yeah, you see a older, stooped, Illyrian, male Illyri, for those who don't know what an Illyrian is, right? Who has black wings. He says Esteban organized it.
It's amazing, she says. She says, I can appreciate the kind of respect that's given to the dead here.
Since Esteban believes that you should treat the dead with as much respect as you've treated them when they were alive. No less. Would you want to be left to rot somewhere?
A good point, she says. Although Marines often are, well, left to crisp and freeze in the great void. Anyway, she says.
That's a shame. Since if you had Esteban in charge of your medical people, that wouldn't happen. No Illyrian or Illyria has ever been left on the battlefield since Esteban got here.
Duly noted, she says.
And a lot less of them die, too.
You request a burial. Some asked to be taken home, and others asked to be composted on one of the star seats, so that they're all with their ship friends.
He nods. He says, I just dig graves.
That's a very important job, she says.
Madrillian sends over to Celine, because I still have mind link.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how long Esteban's been in charge? Because
no idea. Why don't you ask? She says.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll ask. How long has Esteban been in charge of the medical stuff in the church?
About 70 years.
She says, so everybody. Wait a minute. This war happened longer ago than that. She says, didn't it?
Yes, 175 years ago.
So you sought out every person's remains?
No, Esteban sought out every person's remains.
Wow, she says.
And found them. He says. And sorted
Like all
them.
of them?
Yes.
That's
Wow.
beautiful, she says. What a lot of hard work.
What was that? To Savonbin? I mean to Yasma?
I said, that's quite a feat.
He's dedicated.
She says there are still elves who are unwillingly buried in the void, as it were. She says. From older wars that were never recovered because we don't know where to look.
Well, he had an advantage with this, is that he knew where to look for them.
It's amazing, she says. Is
just
he
dug the graves as he brought them in.
is he here by any chance?
Oh yes, he's inside.
We came to talk to him, she says.
Everybody
you.
does, he says.
I'm getting that feeling, she says.
He says, have a good time.
Well met, she says to him.
Well met.
Extends her hand.
Yeah, he takes it. His hands are dirty.
Yeah, she's not fazed by this.
No, he smiles at you. He says, Witch of Arianrod.
Yes, she says.
Estevan's in communion with her.
Then I imagine we'll have a great deal to talk about, she says.
Yes. Says the Church of Warlock is in communion with the Church of Arianrod.
Wonderful. That's perfect, she says. Yeah, she'll thank him and head on in.
Yep. You guys head in and you see a number of obvious priests and priestesses dressed in somber black robes. Right? Their hair pulled back into tight ponytails.
Alright.
Right? And among them you see he looks like what would happen if you crossed an Illyri with a Rualfar.
Okay.
Right? Illyri sort of look like half-elves with wings. He looks like an elf with wings. And the wings are black and metallic and, yeah, shiny. He turns as you come in. He holds his finger up to the person who's talking to him. He says, I must take my leave of you now. He says, and he starts heading your direction. Everybody seems to stop what they're doing when he moves.
She smiles.
As he gets closer, he begins to get a really big grin on his face.
Von Vin's pretty smiley too.
Says, you look like my father. He says, more like your mother's, but I can see my father in you.
I was going, who? Me? Oh, it doesn't like your father.
He laughs.
Big brother, he says. Holds on her arm.
Yeah, he comes over and sweeps you up and sweeps his wings around you when he does it. And it feels like the warmest hug you've ever had.
Oh, you're an amazing hugger, she says.
He says, hugs are something that need to be done from the whole of your soul. He says.
I believe it, she says.
Welcome. He says, I look so forward to meeting you. Lurik, you look great. He says.
Is Lurik away from the microphone? There he is.
Tilt my head and have a puzzled expression, so I'm presuming you're the one who put me together?
Yeah. He says, yes, I did. He says, I toiled over surgery on you for 20 straight hours. He says,
Then thank you for saving my friend, she says.
It was worth it. It was before I came to my magic, he says. Before I could have restored your body, he says. But you look great. And I'm glad you found my sisters.
Oh, I feel good, so.
Good.
Are you busy? He says.
They more so found me, to be fair.
We sort of ran into each other is perhaps the best way to describe it.
Am I
He
busy?
says,
No. He says, no, I am not. I am never busy for you. What can I do for you? What, you want to just go visit somewhere? You need something from me, or?
well, yes and yes, and perhaps there's something we can do for you, she says.
Okay, then let's go to my lounge.
Okay, she says.
Yeah, he turns a sweep, right, and holds out his arms straight out, and a large scythe that was leaned up against the wall snaps into his hand from across the room. Right,
Madrillian will duck instinctively when it comes flying.
Celine's just like...
He smiles. He says, if it was going to hit you, you wouldn't see it coming.
I bet.
Come along, and then you can introduce me to everyone. I know your three names, but I'm not sure which is which.
I'm Celine.
Okay.
This is Von Vin, and this is Yasma, she says.
Hello, he says. And your friends? He says, as he takes you into a large lounge room with day beds and pillows and stuff like that, and a brazier in the room. It's got skulls made out of gold around the outside of it.
Until you mentioned the skulls, it sounded cozy.
Right. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of skull motif around here.
All right, she's gonna, shrug it off. It's obviously a religious trapping. She says, well, this is Madrimlian, she says.
Ah, the famous Madrimlian.
Oh, you're famous now, she says to him.
Great, what did I do now?
This is my boyfriend, Ruvel Sunfall.
Ruvel, pleased to meet you. He shakes his hand. Pleasure's mine, really, says Ruvel. I'm feeling much more awkward than I thought I would, he says.
Well, that's because he seems to know us, sort of.
Haley creates, says hello, 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 and redeemed Hydrate. So,
Oh,
hail Hydrate.
Welcome. Hail
What?
Hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
Hail hydrate.
Hydration.
Make sure you get in on the waffle if you are into mature content. Sexy romance stuff. Pretty explicit, won't lie. No apologies either.
Good. I mean,
yeah, she goes on and she introduces everybody else, basically how they relate and, not by title as you've noticed, but by connection.
By connection, right. He says, well, I'm their older brother. I'm Esteban, he says, and I'm pleased to meet you all. He says, wine, mead, beer, coffee.
Coffee,
broth.
I think.
He said,
looks around.
Banana brandy.
Coffee.
He says, I can do that one, he says. My dad just gave me a bottle, said he might need this.
I'm not surprised.
He said when you open it, he says, make sure that you're around Aryan Mithrasis. He says, because you're going to want more and he knows where to get it. So let's try that.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. We're just Marines, coffee. She says, I think we're all hopelessly addicted now.
Yep. He says, have you tried Groff?
No, what is Groff?
He says, have you ever drank chai tea?
Can't say I have, she says.
He says, well, cardamom, cinnamon.
Afraid not.
Yeah, he names the spices that are in it.
Cardamom, cinnamon, spices, or pepper. I don't know, the stuff that's typically in chai tea.
Yeah.
I wrote it down somewhere. She said, in coffee, you said.
Yes. With yak's
Sounds
milk and butter. And sweet, he says. Honey.
That sounds delicious, she says.
Sounds really good.
Okay, I'll make one of those after we have a brandy. For everyone.
Brilliant. Some in my eye. It's annoying me. Anyway.
Yeah. So you guys have a banana brandy. He does say, this is delicious. Where does this come from?
My uncle makes it.
Ah. He says, and does he sell it?
Oh, yes. I mean, the Apple Branch label's pretty famous back on Peridot, but I think it's only now.
I think I've
Go
heard
ahead.
of him. He says, well, he says, if you can get me more of this, I would be delighted to buy it off you.
I will certainly pass along the word to my uncle to, send along a case with the merchants the next time I'm back on Peridot.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Right? And then a couple of young acolytes. You know they're young because they don't have wings yet. Right? Illyria are not born with wings. They're born with vestigial wings that they can glide with, but they can't fly. And until they go through their metamorphosis into adulthood, they don't develop wings. So these are children, obviously.
Right.
Under the age of 14 type thing.
Or whatever the Illyri equivalent is.
Yeah, the Illyri equivalent is, yeah. Right? And they come in bearing a bunch of bowls with a very coffee, chai smelling drinks on them. And hand them out.
Thank you. This does smell delicious. She tries it. I'm sure she loves it.
Well, I know it's fucking delicious because we've made it.
Yep.
Oh, look, dirty chai.
This is amazing, says Bonvin. Get the recipe.
I'll give it to you. To get actual Groff, he says you have to go to the orcs in Bloodhaven. That's where I found it, anyways, he says. Right, but
it's an orcish drink. Interesting,
yes.
She says.
Oh, yes. He says, orcish women drink it like this, he says, but so the orcish men think they're tough.
Well, I love it, she says.
He says,
I will put the link in the chat for the audience. There is the information.
Yeah. Madrimlian pulls out his pipe. Do you mind?
Not at all. It's your lungs.
Says the Lord High Reaper. She says, Julian.
So we do have some business.
Yes. Might as well get that out of the way.
Okay, let's get the business out of the way. What have you come to see me about? Is somebody dead or dying?
Quick question. I just want to double check things. We brought those Illyri bodies for ship, correct?
Yep.
Packed in ice?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Packed in an extra dimensional space, actually, so they'd be preserved.
Okay, says Von Vin. We were out, stuff, and we ran across an Illyri ship in a wreckage belt.
Oh, yeah.
And on board were a number of bodies.
Oh, really?
We have brought them back with us. I'm afraid some of them are in pieces, though, because some lizardmen had found them and had started eating them. Although they are, fairly good state, and we were very careful in their transport.
Well, I appreciate you bringing them back to me. I'll get some acolytes to come in and take them from you, he says. And a few minutes later, a couple of older acolytes, they are obviously Illyri of age, come in. He says, where would you find them? He says, I'll send some people to collect them.
Okay, I think we had them in the fortress, right?
No, you had them in somebody's Heward's Andy Haversack.
Yeah.
They were in a bag of
A
holding
bag of holding,
inside the hutch.
right.
Well, looks at Crowley and says, I guess we'll have to set up the house, eh?
If you would be so good, Crowley.
Walk over to the wall, put the key in the wall, open up the door, go grab the bag. Well, excuse the term, but the bag of bodies, and bring it back out.
The body
Well,
bag.
that's pretty much what it is.
The body bag.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Hand the bag over.
Great. Now he's gonna throw the bones.
What was that there, Siobhan?
Now he's gonna throw the bones.
Yeah, you hand the bag over. He says, they say, we'll return the bag to you once we've got rid of the cadavers.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I did my very best to make sure the right pieces were with the right bodies when there were pieces, but I'm not an expert at it, says Vonvin.
Oh, I'm sure you've done well. It says, that's fun. It's an entire science in and of itself. So the fact that you even tried it is amazing. Yes. Well done.
Well, it seemed disrespectful just to shove bits in bags willy-nilly. They obviously died for some reason.
He nods. They died
especially
doing stupid
since... Well, this particular ship, the last known captain, is your current Illyr.
Yes, and he was an idiot.
We have business we need to discuss with him as well, and probably it is best done in private, she says.
I can arrange that, he says.
Thank you, she says.
No problem.
Well, that's two matters of business. Pardon me?
Just don't let him charm you. He says.
Oh, I think I'm pretty good at not being charmed by charmers, she says.
Yeah, she's an ice queen, says Ruabel.
Michelle looks over and goes, oh, really?
Jokingly, not hard, but...
He makes a big show of falling over.
And apparently I'm a murderous wretch, too, she says. Because clearly he must be dying, rolls a run. And then she laughs.
He says, so... Was that all the business you had?
There's one more small matter, she says. Our father said you're the one who could certify our birth certificates, she said.
He says, I can. I will have to take a drop of your blood, he says. To ensure that you are of the bloodline
Not a
that we
problem.
believe you are.
Well, it's more like the bloodline he says we are, but okay. She says, extends her finger.
Said we believe you are. I didn't necessarily say you were included in the we. He says, I can see my father in all of you.
I'll take that as a compliment, I think. She says.
Well, you say I look just like him, and he does, only he's bigger.
You do look just like him. Only,
It's true.
like the Marine version instead of the, Navy pilot version, she says.
He chuckles. He says, well, I've had to do more physical work in my life than my father has.
Right.
Well, he takes the drop of your blood and examines it, puts it on a piece of glass, holds it up to the light. You see, as he does so, he incants something over it and then blows on the glass, and the glass turns opaque and the blood turns blue.
Yep, you're a blue blood.
I was wondering all of a sudden if that was the origin of the expression, she says.
That's where it comes from, since it means that you are definitely Rualfar.
Well, I suppose that explains the slight purpley shade, she says, looking at her, the highlights in her skin. And
yeah, it says, and this says that you're definitely related to my father. The color tells me that. That particular shade of white silver is associated with my father. I know that because I display that when I use this spell myself.
She says, well, initially Dawn, and Dawn looks like Dawn or Blake is going to say something.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does it for all three of you, and yes, you all come up with the same colors. He says, I can tell by this, he says, showing you a pattern in the drop of blood, that you're all sisters.
Neat. Do you show this pattern too?
He says, I'd show a similar one saying that I am related to you. And I would infer that it would mean that I'm a brother to your sister.
The family just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Dad gets around, apparently.
He sowed a lot of oats.
Well, I mean, honestly, you kind of want that in an elven monarch, don't you? She says.
Not quite, he says. Well, I can't inherit, he says, because of my religious vows.
We were told that. She says, we were also told that of the three of us, Yasma's the eldest.
Yes, okay. That was my next question. So, I guess you're going to inherit the throne, Yasma.
I guess so. It's a little overwhelming. I don't even know what to do with that.
Well, for now, I would just file that under shit I need to know later.
Get it fine.
And go on with living your life until my father decides that he's going west, which doesn't seem like that's going to be very soon in the future. He just realized he had 3 daughters. He's not about to just turn around and go west now.
I guess not, she says.
Right. He says. And so, you needn't worry yourself about it, and when it does become important, I'll be there for you. He says.
Well, thank you very much.
She says, do you think we should be staying in the same Marine unit then? Isn't that a bit like putting all the eggs in one basket?
He says, no, you're not in any danger.
Okay. I mean, you never know.
I do.
I guess you would. Jesus.
Well, Celine, look at the unit.
Well, I can guarantee that none of you are going to die in the next 6 weeks.
Good to know, she says. Well, maybe I'll go mountain climbing then, she says cheerfully.
Might be. Since
Ooh, skydiving.
I understand that Arian wants to do some stuff for in the next 6 weeks.
Looks at Arian. What you got in mind?
Well, I did gather that intel on the local pirates, ma'am.
Oh, good, she says. And there's stuff for us to do.
There's at least 3 groups that apparently need our attention.
My experience says if we don't go looking for trouble, it comes to find us. So I think probably we should do that, she says.
Also, ma'am, didn't your father say that your brother here could help us with our other little issue, and he cuts his eyes towards Crowley?
Yes, she says. I guess there's no reason not to tell you why we need to see the clear, she says. She looks around to make sure all the acolytes are out and says, we have the sword of Alara.
He says, interesting. He paused like that, too. Artifacts are hard to tell. How do you know this?
It's got the Maker's Mark of Orion, she says. Carmen identified it, she says.
Okay, that's good enough for me. Since the Allura's been carrying around a forgery, then.
Would you like to see it?
Certainly.
Is there somewhere we can go to guarantee privacy and no prying eyes?
This is my lounge. Nobody will come in here, and I know the actions of everybody in this temple.
Okay. Then I'll go into the scabbard and I'll pull out the sword.
Yeah. He takes it. It certainly looks like the sword of Alara, and if Carmen says it is, then I guess the Allura's been carrying around a forgery.
The question is whether or not he's aware of that, I guess.
Yes, I guess
Because now, just technically, would you, in being in possession of the sword, would that not just make you the supreme military leader at the moment?
Oh no, my vows prevent me from leading militaries.
Oh, okay. But someone of your race possessing that sword, does that not kind of declare them as the military leader?
If the sword doesn't kill them outright.
Oh, okay. So it's got to be someone of just nature then.
Yes.
Excellent.
So,
that's good to know.
If the sword can kill someone outright, and Crowley's capable of handling it, does that not make him the...
No. No, don't need that job. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no doubt.
Then think you want it, Crowley.
He says, I thank you for bringing this. He hands it back to Crowley.
I'll put it away.
I thank you for bringing this home.
We found it on the same ship, and we thought it best it was returned discreetly.
Okay. He says, that explains that. Says, the Allura's ship was into piracy.
So we were given to understand, she says.
It's a bit of a lark on his part. didn't identify himself as the Illir, of course, because that could have created a huge diplomatic incident.
Yes,
The
that's a
elves
terrible thing, she says. It's terrible when royalty go traipsing around, getting into trouble and doing things they shouldn't be doing and not identifying themselves as royalty. She says, quite the shame, really.
Well, I think it was a rather good thing, because I really wouldn't have wanted a war with the elves.
Julian is
Oh, I'm sorry, she says to Esteban. I was chastising few people in my present company. She
No.
says.
and past.
My, how city and
Julian's
Grammy.
Sorry, I missed that.
Darian?
My, how city and grimy your arse is, said the kettle to the pot.
Well, she says. Hey, I keep asking what I should be doing, and I keep getting told exactly what you're doing right now. So, yeah, she says.
He says, that's what I would do. He says, elves don't want leaders that are not in touch with them. He says, they don't want leaders from afar. Because that's what the Elven Navy's got wrong with them. He says, the Alfar believe they are superior to the men they command. He says,
Yeah, no kidding, she says.
well, the fact is that the ship doesn't run without them.
That's also true.
And though discipline is necessary on a ship, his oppression is going to lead to mutiny.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
a navy is only as capable as its least capable member and least loyal member.
Well, everyone seems pretty loyal on our ship, she says, a little defensively, you know.
Says, that's good. Your mother leads from example. Says,
Yeah, she does. She
yes.
says.
Also, do note she's not Alfar. He says.
I do note, she says. Can hardly forget, really.
Thanks for the reminder, says Ravel. He says, from all accounts, Mr. Sunfall, he says, you are a gentleman. He says, who honors the uniform he wears. He says, I understand also that we have Arian to thank for it.
You hear a lot of things, she says. Where'd you get your information, Big Brother? I'd like to know who's talking about us, she says.
Anybody I ask will tell me pretty much anything I want to know. I'm really quiet again, ain't I? Chad, am I really quiet?
You sound fine to me.
No, you sound okay.
Okay.
I can check. I've got a couple seconds delay here. You're probably still talking on the stream.
Nope, say something, Aaron.
What? Yep, it turned down my fucking microphone again. Fucking thing.
Okay, that is better. It's true.
Okay.
We gotta replace your thing. That's it.
Yeah, I gotta replace that. I'll do that on Wednesday.
There we go.
Please help me to remember.
I will help you to remember.
Sure. If it means I drive up there and smack you across the face and tell you to fix your thing.
Yeah. Gotta replace my USB sound card.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it's what I plug my headphones into, and it's got an inbuilt sound card in it. Right? Only I dropped it and stepped on it and broke it. So it's held together with rubber bands.
It still works,
It still works,
but
but it does
apparently that's kind
fucky
of a
things. It does
Yeah.
fuckity things.
Ay, ay, ay.
MacGyver would be proud.
Yep. Yeah, I rubber banded it back together.
Yep.
I have crazy glue.
Hey, this is how it works when you're poor. So if you want to support the stream, here's our Patreon.
Or throw us bits, or subscribe, or.
There you go. Gives us a good opportunity. There we go.
Oh, I finally got my first payout from Twitch.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Congrats.
Yeah, just in time to pay off my cable, my
Cool.
internet bill.
Oh, that's cool.
See, so Siobhan's subscribers and supporters
Nice.
are literally supporting the stream.
Yep.
Literally. So that's cool. I think that's fun. We have a bit of a break here. Are we taking
Yeah.
a momentary break?
We're gonna
Because
take.
we need to grab some dinner.
Yeah, we're gonna take 10 minutes.
Okay,
Okay?
awesome. We will return in 10.
10
9,
of them.
8.
Minutes,
Okay.
not seconds. I know you can't count that high, but.
Oh. That's what you think.
Okay,
Oh, we lost.
So just count 1 to 600.
1 to 600.
There you go. 10 minutes is up. Get back at it.
Yeah, let's get back to game. All those poor listeners just sitting there in the silence and the bird calls.
Hmm.
Well, and now deep thoughts with Crowley. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be swallowed by a gigantic creature and then burst out through its gut to go, ta-da! And that's been another episode of Deep Thoughts with Crowley.
Uh-oh. Oh, that's not good. Yeah.
Right. I'm just going to hide real quick. Well, if you're unstable on the internet and your internet's unstable at the same time, yeah, it's not good. I'm getting out of here. I'm going. You're trying to find where it's safe.
Okay, I'm back.
No cigarettes, but I do have a pipe.
King of the road.
Oh. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh.
Well, let's get off this screen because I think it may be screwing stuff up.
And we're back.
Really? Where'd we go?
Oh, we had a 10-minute break.
I think we have to move all the graphics around again, or do we?
Yeah.
Dawn, yeah.
Yeah, Dawn and them. Oh, I gotta move all the graphics around. Thanks, Dawn. I'm just kidding. Not your fault. Not your fault.
Even mine, it shouldn't move.
No, it's everyone but yours.
Just a reminder, we have a raffle going on. If you're just joining us after the break.
Okay, I've got to refresh.
So did anyone catch Deep Thoughts with Crowley?
Nope.
Yeah, I caught it. Are we still on the taking a short break screen?
No, I'm fixing the other screen. Because Dawn had to go up and disconnect.
It's interesting because it's showing the other screen to me here, which wasn't working and now is.
Yeah.
Well, it means you got some serious ass lag.
I just refreshed it twice.
If you're wondering what the annoying squeaking sound is in the background, that is the cat murdering the toy mouse.
Actually, it's her murdering the stick the toy mouse is on.
Ah.
She wants to try and get it off. So she can drag the mouse around.
Well, that's the first time I've seen how the break screen looks, and I like the look of it. Let us know what you guys think in the chat.
Oh, I like it. Even if it's not quite completely accurate, but then again, well, maybe it is. I can't tell.
What's not completely accurate?
I was trying to look at Arian's tie.
Didn't I fix that?
Well, I was gonna say, but I can't tell. It's
Well,
okay.
yes, you're human, and elves see farther into the ultraviolet spectrum than we do, and they have much less difficulty differentiating a black and a blue tie.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's fucked up. I don't know why it's still showing that screen. I've been on this screen for like 2 minutes now.
Well, I will refresh again.
Oh, there we go.
I haven't been able to see the screen all night. I just keep getting an error video being download.
Yeah. Okay, there it goes. I'm still losing a lot of frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's catching up to where I just changed everything around.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's time to talk to the internet company about our router.
Oh, yeah. I gotta call them anyway, so remind me tomorrow.
Okay, I will do that. I can't imagine what else would be the problem. And I've been having difficulties on my stream lately too. And I think it's just that the router's running really hot because it's, either breaking down or they're putting a limiter on it or some damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, mine's running a little warm too, and they were working in the shed.
Nice.
Hello, Sable's mom.
Well, Sable's mom can
Yeah.
talk to the
Machine?
machine, yeah. Okay.
Sunday night, she knows better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, shall we continue?
Yes, we shall. So you were with Esteban?
Yep. We were just discussing the sword. Crowley
That's
just
right.
showed him. Crowley had just taken it back.
Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have my camera on right now. I figured you guys didn't want to watch me eat chicken.
If it's not from Yang's Chicken Bucket Restaurant.
Yeah, we had duck tonight, not chicken, so it doesn't matter.
Anyway. Yes, that's where we were. Well, that concludes all the business we had.
Well, then we can visit. Get to know one another.
How did you fall into the Leary page, he says?
He says, it's an amazing story, actually. He says, I made a deal with the goddess of death to clean up her church in return for her to deliver power to me. He says, she's much more savvy than I was. He says, when she was granting my power, like faith, I developed faith in it. Says, she knew it would happen.
Mike's scraping your beard again, baby.
Fucking Mike.
I know.
I hate Mike. Mike's annoying.
Okay, thank you. She says, so basically you tricked yourself into having faith in her church.
Yes. He says.
Okay, I can appreciate
And having
that.
faith at all, he says. To be honest with you, I was a man who was completely devoid of faith.
She shrugs and she says, well, I've always believed in Arian Rod, but I mean, I don't suppose I've had any real cause to question it either.
He goes, yeah, exactly, he says. And you have enough faith that even if you did question it, you would come to the conclusion she's there and cares.
Yeah, I think so, she says.
He says, our churches are in communion, so I think I have at least some understanding of the Church of Arian Rod.
I'm sure that's probably true.
Yeah, I've got faith in my own.
Why not tell me about Warlock, she says.
Since Warlock is our Arian Rod, really, since she is the goddess who overlooks the passage of people into the afterlife. As the judge of the dead, as it were.
Interesting, she says. Okay.
And the avenger of the living.
Avenger of the living. Interesting, she says.
And part of our mandate is to destroy the undead, or to at least yoke them.
Right.
So, undead are evil things.
Well, I can't say I've had a lot of encounters.
I've had enough for us both.
Fair enough, she says. Kind of looking around at the skulls a bit.
Son's death motif. Warlock likes it.
She says, do you think what
Then
happens
just shrugs and says, skulls happen. It's part of the way of the order of things.
Yep.
Sometimes they don't.
That is
Oh, I
true.
wasn't judging or anything, says Celine.
He says, I like the motif. It gives me a creepy appeal.
Which you then seem to do your very, very best to undo, she says.
Yes. I am a necromancer.
Okay.
Says I was trained in that before I was trained in the priestly arts.
So was it necromancy or divine magic that you did on our blood?
What is that, necromancy or divine magic? He says a little of both.
Okay.
He says, I can teach it to you if you want, or at least imbue it into Lafather.
You know, that might be handy, she says. If you wanted to, I would certainly not say no.
Yes, I'll do that then. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, he teaches the spell to Lafather.
Neat.
In short, it takes him about an hour.
She watches this process. I keep forgetting that I gotta put Lafather in the book. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Von Vin finds it fascinating to watch as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do for fun, big brother?
And he says, I deliver babies.
And you do that for fun?
This is not part of my priestly duties.
Fair enough. I guess that's an honest answer then, she says.
Yes. Since I like to be involved with people on both ends of their lives.
You know, that makes sense to me, she says.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, that's kind of Arianrod's thing too, right? The fate of the spirit through life and death, she says.
Yes.
She says, do you think it matters what happens to the body after we die?
He says, I think that it's a matter of respect. He says, it's the vessel that once held you. Right? Like your mother. Says, you leave your mother and eventually you grow up and you leave her side, but you don't stop respecting her or loving her. And your body is the same way. When you leave it, it should be respected. Right? And if people respect you, they'll respect your body.
She says, I was just talking to one of the grave diggers out there, she says, and he seemed very offended that there were elven bodies still floating in the void somewhere, and I wondered if I should be concerned.
He says, it is concerning. And I'll have to do something about that.
Well, I wasn't, making it your personal job or anything, she says.
He smiles. He says, it's always been my personal job. He says, it is offensive that they were left to rot in the void or freeze and eventually turn to dust from particles hitting them. He says,
I'm just not sure what can be done about it, she says. I mean, like Von Vin said earlier, some people do choose burial in the void.
Oh, of course. That's a respect unto the body, he says.
That thought crossed my mind, she says. I think I might like to go that way.
I understand. Hello, Yusong. Welcome back.
And some choose composting. And some choose cremation or burial, which of course has to happen when they're brought back. And we'll do that. But often you don't have that luxury in space, she says, or a ship is destroyed and nobody knows how to recover it.
Yeah.
Space is big. They're hard to find, she says.
It's true. That's what you need me for.
Well, she says, Okay. How would you go about that? She says.
He says, start by retracing the steps of the battles.
Some of them are so old, I'm sure the details are forgotten, she says.
Says, not to those who were there.
I suppose that's true.
Majima's going, don't look at me as he puts away his book.
Celine will throw something at him. You know, not meant to hurt, like a crumpled up piece of paper or something.
Yeah.
Pillow.
Yeah, pillow.
It's like, retrace the steps of the battle. Yeah, Madrillian studies those things. It's like, no, don't look at me.
Okay, you just asked, you know, geek boy over there, I suppose. She said. She grins. It's true, Madrimlian probably could give you a place to start if you are serious and you didn't want to do this. I wasn't asking, she says.
I know, I'm just bugging.
I was just speculating, she says.
Mm-hmm. He says, I question the dead.
I guess that makes sense.
If you go to the location of the battle and you collect the bodies, you can question the dead. You can get a pretty good understanding of what happened in the battle. Which gives you an idea of where the other bodies might be.
Right.
That makes sense.
And you search. Like finding needles in a haystack.
I'm surprised since you serve a death goddess, there's not a find the dead spell or something like that.
He says, there is, but it doesn't work across the void, I'm afraid. It's not that much range. It's about 20 kilometers or miles or so.
Yeah, and I'm sure that if it had that much range, if you find the dead, it's like, okay, I know where all the dead is for everybody, for everywhere. It's like, I can't get to half of them. What's the point in trying to do this? I'm sorry, Esteban.
I don't know what to apologize for.
My interruption.
Oh. Says, do I frighten you?
No. It was impolite.
Alright. He says, I thought we were bantering. He says,
Madrimlian does this with everybody, it's not you, she says.
alright.
He overthinks being polite sometimes because he spends more time with books than people. She says.
It's unhealthy, Madrimlian.
I am getting better, slowly.
I give that to him. He is getting better. Well,
unlike Arden throws a pillow at him.
That's true. He's not very good at that at all. He's far too busy making stuff all the time. Not that the stuff he makes isn't cool or useful, because it is.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to get a social life. Wait. Madrimlian turns a beet red.
Maybe you could
I see Ron.
take him out for strawberry tart sometime there, Madrimlian.
No, I'll leave that to Xerxes.
I am a strawberry tart, he says.
I thought you knew such a great place to get some.
You are my strawberry tart, however.
Yes.
She says, well, I can't come hang out with you and deliver babies, I don't think.
He says, oh, you want to do something fun with me?
I was looking for something that you might like to do that we like to do. That's all.
I like to dance.
Dancing's good. I like dancing.
It
It's always
says,
fun.
though they got dance halls here.
Okay. That would be really neat, actually. I don't know anything about Illyrian culture, and I'd love to learn more.
It's very diverse. Quite remarkably so, considering everyone thinks it's monolithic.
She kind of does one of those, puts her finger up in the air and kind of goes, points at like 3 different places with a thoughtful look on her face, like, wait, that doesn't quite add up, That makes no sense, she says.
They appear on the outside to be very monolithic. One attitude, one people.
But they're not.
Oh no.
We kind of got that sense. We've met 3 Illyri so far. 3 different personalities, 3 different attitudes, 3 different...
Mm-hmm.
Sets of priorities.
Yeah.
Well, I hear the elves appear monolithic from the outside, too.
That is true. Especially in the Navy.
Well.
What, there's a Navy? The German starts looking around, confused.
Bops him again with a pillow.
The Navy isn't monolithic?
Yeah.
Well, you have a point there, she says. So I don't know, did you want to go to a dance hall or something?
I wouldn't mind. Mariama?
She says, sure, and people aren't staring at me here.
Huh, interesting, she says.
I don't think the Illyri care.
She says, yeah, I'm sorry. I guess we're going to end up spending a lot more time here in the city than we are in Alasia Minor, she says.
He says, well, I do have a mansion here if you wanted to stay at it.
I believe we've already paid for rooms.
All right.
But doesn't mean we can't see about
Hello, kitten.
getting
Come on up.
some of that back. If that's what you want to do, Captain.
Oh, I would let them keep the money even if we did decide to take my brother up on the invitation. We already booked the room, and I'm sure they've already told people that they can't stay. It's not fair to take the money back, she says. But I'm tempted to take him up on his invitation, she says. What do you guys think?
I'm for it.
That'd
Says,
be cool.
Very
And
well.
it'll be more comfortable.
Mariama.
I'd rather see to her comfort than our own expense. Well, even if it is at our own expense.
It's a minor expense, she says.
Right, says Xerxes. Me and Ruvel will go back and fetch our stuff.
No, we all have to go back. We have to get our suits.
Or which?
Our suits.
Oh, we'll fetch those too.
Mariama, why don't we go with them? If you'd like.
Okay. Sure, I guess. She says.
Our unit has a rule looking over at Xerxes and Ruvel.
Oh, I'm sure they can be trusted for 5 minutes to go and get our things.
Right.
Okay.
We'll be back. They head off. He says, when they get back with your stuff, I'll take you to my mansion. He says. Sort of given to me by the people, he says.
Okay.
He says, the Illyri are very religious people.
Yes, I got that impression, she says.
They take their religious leaders very seriously.
Sounds refreshing, she says.
Barbarossa. Oh no, I spent too many points earlier. I can't give Siobhan her 20th reroll. Oh whoa, what if she needs to reroll 21 times?
Okay, let's make a long story short here and get back to
Yeah,
this, man.
yeah, they come back after like a short time, right? And they got this smallish bronze dragon, about 6 feet long, with them. He's hauling a cart.
There. She says to the bronze dragon.
Hello, he says. Hey, it's neat. You can hire these guys to carry stuff for you, says Ruvel.
Oh, thank you very much for carrying this for us. How
No
much
problem.
do you need?
He says, that'll be 10 gold. Okay. He hands him 10 gold. It's not cheap, but hey, it's fast, he says.
Makes sense, she says. I see. Opportunity for a clever young dragon to build a horde, she says.
That's right, he says.
Well, then here's a tip, she says, and thank you very much for your help.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, he heads off.
You have a great day.
You too.
Puts my suit on because it's easier to, transport it that way.
Yep. Esteban says, well, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
He stands up and picks up his scythe.
Yep, follow him out.
Yeah, you guys walk through the streets. People are greet him everywhere you go. Hello, Esteban. Hello, Esteban.
And ignore these big metal bug people that are walking along.
Yeah, they don't seem to notice you at all.
That's hilarious. Love it.
Oh, Madrumlin's right at home with that.
Yep.
I'm not here. I'm not here. You don't see me. I'm not here.
Yep. And he takes you to a huge man's. Probably got 20 bedrooms in it.
Well, this is very nice, she says.
And far too big for me, so consider it your home too. He says, when you're here.
Thank you, Miss Mom.
He says, come on in. He opens the door and heads inside.
Head and follow.
There is a skeleton standing beside the door.
Oh.
Madrumlin rolls his eyes.
Skeleton rolls his head.
She looks at Esteban with this look, like...
This is Wilson, he says.
Wilson.
Wilson. Greetings, says
Please.
the skeleton.
Wilson.
Nice to meet you, Wilson, says Celine, suddenly rethinking this plan.
Wilson is serving his penance.
Ah, I see, she says.
Says, when Wilson's done his penance, I will send him on to the afterlife.
Oh, she says.
Mm-hmm. Not all undead are unredeemable.
Well, that's interesting, she says.
Madrillian will actually offer his hand to Wilson.
She's like casts
Yeah,
a
he
look
takes
at
it in his
Ruvel,
gauntlet.
and then another. Sorry.
He takes it in his gauntlet.
Pleasure. A low sense of humor.
Yeah, Celine casts kind of a look at Ruvel and at Arian, like, what the actual fuck?
He says he doesn't have to stay here. Wilson, go to the temple. Yes, my lord.
Oh, I don't want to kick him out. It's his. I mean, this is where he normally stays, isn't it?
It's where he works.
Ah.
He answers my door. He's a bit of a fixture around here.
I'm sure we'll become accustomed to him.
Well, he doesn't smell.
He's got a sense of humor. I'll give him that much.
Charlie says you. He doesn't smell bad, if that's what you mean. He just smells like dust.
Yeah.
Wow, Jesus.
He says he'll stay at the temple while you're here. Make it easier on you. If you come by the temple, you can see him and get used to him slowly.
Okay, she says.
Marion will shrug and say, ma'am, it's probably a good thing, because if Raja joins us, he probably would have been gnawing on his leg.
Oh, no. No, Raja's a good kitty.
Raja is a good kitty.
You know, we might as well let him out to run around.
Yes, he's a cat.
Who's a big kitty?
Big kitty, okay. Yes. I'm sure I have the room. This is an O'Leary man's. It's like 4 stories tall, and each story is like 15 feet tall.
Yeah, why don't you describe it a bit? Because it might tell us something about the character, too.
Yeah. The house is very plainly adorned. There are some pictures here and there. Right? And some statuary. Right, but mostly it's got a non-lived-in look.
A bit empty indeed, she says.
Yes, hopefully you can warm it up in here a bit. He says. I live alone.
Well,
in this
speaking
place.
of warming it up, I have an idea for your doorman.
Oh?
Hang a lantern on the inside of his rib cage. He'll bring light and warmth everywhere he goes.
I think the armor would get in the way.
Yes. He brings you in. He says, should we find your rooms first? I suppose you want to put your stuff away. He says, we'll find you rooms. Do you prefer ground floor or upper floor?
Do you have anything with a view?
Says, I have rooms with view of the garden.
That sounds lovely, says Celine.
Yeah. He takes you up to the 4th floor. In an elevator. A big elevator, like you could fit a dragon on it.
How neat, she says.
Not a big dragon, but a dragon.
Gnomish device?
He says, I believe so.
What a handy contraption.
Press 4.
No, it's one of those hand crank ones.
Oh, God.
He cranks it. Till you get up to the 4th floor. Yeah.
Well, step out.
Look around.
Yeah, and there's a hallway with doors on either side of it. He leads you down. He said, these are all rooms looking out onto the garden, he says, pointing to his right. And these rooms here look out onto the front court.
Nice.
He says, take your pick. They're all probably far too large for what you're used to, and
Probably. Well, she'll take a look out in both windows and see which one has the best view of the night sky.
of the night sky?
Yeah.
The one over the garden, because it overlooks the Great Wing Sea.
This one, she says. This will be beautiful. Perfect.
Excellent.
Shuffles off her armor and
Yep.
hangs it up.
Ruel says, can I stay in here with you?
Yeah, I assumed. She
Okay.
says.
I didn't, he says.
Nice of you not to, she says. But we were going to stay together at the inn, so I don't see any reason why I shouldn't stay here. Besides,
Right.
like you said, this is a big room, she says.
Yeah, it's a lot more space than we're used to.
I don't have to do with all the space, actually, she says.
Yep. So you guys find rooms?
Yep.
Yep.
I will once again ask to join Mariama because there was that option.
She says absolutely. Yep, Xerxes makes sure that Von Vin and him are still okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We can share a room.
All right. Yeah. So you let Raja out?
Yes.
Yeah, he goes looking around the place, doing the typical cat thing. It's new. I don't like it. Because that's cats everywhere. It's new. I hate it. Until it's been there for 3 days, and it's like, what are you moving that for? I love that there.
Yeah.
Quick question of our host. Where might the library be? And where might I find books on, how to put it? Political hierarchy and laws around said things.
Oh, you mean where can you find out what the sumptuary laws and stuff are?
Yeah,
He says, I can provide you with some texts.
that'd be muchly appreciated.
No problem. He says, come down to my library. Our library, he says.
All right.
Yeah, Metro Lane's following.
Yeah, he takes you into a rather vast library, not as vast as his father's, but quite impressive nevertheless.
Yeah.
Oh, now this is cozy, she says. I like your seat in the reading chairs.
He says, feel free to avail yourself of it any time.
Thank you, Esteban. Thank you for offering to let us stay. I appreciate that, she says. I look forward to the opportunity to get to know you.
He says, I'll give you something. I'm going to give it to Madrimland, he says. He takes off a small emerald pendant.
Okay.
He says, familiarize yourself with the title of a book in my library, he says.
All right.
Now place the pendant in your hand.
Okay, does so.
Hold your hand out.
Yep.
And say the name of the book.
And he'll do so.
And the book appears in your hand. The pendant appears around your neck.
Ooh.
He says, now say the name of the book again.
Does so.
The book disappears, the pendant reappears in your hand, and the book reappears on the shelf. He says, when I was traveling, I used to use it for my spell books. He says. But, he says, the books in my library have all been enchanted to answer to it. So familiarize yourselves with the bindings of the books, and you can borrow them anytime you wish.
Yeah, the problem is if I'm reading it, if I call the book, I'm reading it, so ask me what the
you.
book's called, and I say what it is, it's gone again.
No, he says, it has to be said with intent.
Okay.
That's very similar to the secluded grimoire spell.
Mm-hmm.
He's all is like complete utter like zoned in on that. It's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
What, we got a reaction out of Arden? All right.
All right.
He's not dead from the neck up. It says Ruvel.
That's it, says Celine. She goes over and starts tickling him.
Arden or Ruvel?
Arden.
Oh, okay.
We.
Oh, look, he's ticklish, she says.
Where is
Tickles him until he's giggling.
Well, I did get a 24 on my will save that I did for that.
So it takes you a while to get him giggling his head off, but...
Stop on his toe.
There, we got a reaction. I win, she says.
And as soon as she's tickling him, he's trying to hide it. He stomps on his toe.
Oh, God.
Oh, you're mean, she says to Madrillian, but she's laughing.
So's he, he says, pointing at Arden, who's laughing. He was trying to pull an alien.
Yep. Are you okay? She says to Arden.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Need for me to beat him up for you, says Ruvel.
I'm gonna bring you to head to my enemies on a plate. Is this the plan? She says.
No, just your friends.
Oh. Nah. She says, do you guys want to call it a night, or do you want to go out dancing, or do you want to, hang out in the library with a brandy, or?
I could do any of those things, says Ruvel.
Well, I thought we had decided on dancing.
We had, but I'm not sure that people are interested now after all that.
Well, you guys are welcome to go dancing. I'm going to stay here in the library.
Aaron will look over at Yavva and say, perhaps we need to go do your lieutenantly duties and check on the ship and take a shift.
I don't know if that was clear there, Chris.
What, did you get that, Dawn?
What was that?
Arian will look over at Yasma and suggest that perhaps we should go back and take a shift on the ship.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. Do you like dancing? Says Xerxes to Von Ben.
Unless you want to go dancing with your brother as well, Yasma. Sorry about that.
Yes.
I didn't think that.
Well, that's quite all right.
I could certainly take Lyric or Arden or somebody and do the shift.
No, I think she's looking for an excuse, says Xerxes.
Maybe.
You know what? We're going to be here for a couple of months, right?
Yep.
We have time. Go do what you want to do, she says. We'll get these new recruits trained up, and then that'll free us up to do some more things.
Yeah.
And when the prize ship crew gets back, she says, I imagine we'll be given some actual leave time, she says.
Mm-hmm.
But in the meantime, go on. Go have fun. Do whatever you want to do. In which case, I'm not seeing a huge enthusiasm for dancing.
Well, Von Ben and I are into dancing, says Xerxes.
Merlin said we wanted to go.
Looks to Von Ben.
Dancing's fun. I think.
Yeah, so Arden, I take it, is staying in the library?
Yep.
Lurik, what are you up to?
I don't know. Probably just go with them and hang out wherever they're dancing and just have a smoke, enjoy the music.
Okay. So you guys go off to one of the dance halls. He takes you to one of the... You want to go dancing in real life there, Esong?
No, she wants the pendant.
She wants what?
The pendant.
Oh, for the
Called
library.
books?
For the books.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be so handy, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Summon a book from the library. Send it back to the library.
Don't have to ever worry about late fees ever again.
Nope. They'd call you and say, you have a late book. You go, send it back. Yeah, so dancing.
Hey, for a moment, guys, actually. So why don't you do Arian and Yasma, because I need to get an allergy pill or something.
Okay. Arian and Yasma. You guys return to the ship.
Yeah. So we're doing a watch?
We probably should do a watch and do some training of the new guys. Like Celine said, it'd free us up for some more time off the ship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right, well, they're trained Marines, but they aren't trained in the procedures of the ship, basically. So, they don't know the customs, they don't know the ins and outs.
All right, so I guess we just start training them and go from there.
It would depend on what they're fighting there, Barbarossa. If they're fighting each other, 10 Illyri against 25 elves, I put my money on the elves.
The advantage of numbers is pretty
Yep, even
apparent.
Kukulain cannot fight two. That's an old proverb.
Yeah, the idea is the numbers, there's flanking bonuses and all that.
Hmm? That's 2.5 elves to every Illyri. That's like probably 5 bow shots to every attack.
Not speculating they're using bows.
They're elves.
The reason why they get bow proficiency as a racial thing.
Yep. What's up? Yeah, so you train the guys a bit, since they're there. And while you're there, 6 guys show up to the ship. Dressed in Marine uniforms.
Are you the additional draft that we requested?
Yes, sir, he says. We have orders. He hands them to you.
Thank you. Come aboard and I'll introduce you to the captain of the ship. Unfortunately, our major is currently off. I'll let her know that you've arrived, but let's get you checked in with the actual ship's captain.
Yes, sir, they say. Avalan.
And we'll take him off to meet Captain Wintermist.
Yeah. She is currently in her ready room. You knock, she tells you to come in, and you introduce her to these 6. And she takes a look at their orders. She says, well, they've definitely been assigned to us. She says,
I just wanted to check in with you. Major Wintermist isn't here.
So we'll get them situated in and start them on rotation. She says. Are you the duty officer tonight?
Actually, I believe that'd be Lieutenant Yasma, man.
Ah, all right. Says, tell Yasma that she doesn't have to take them if they don't work out.
Have one.
So you take them down to the Marine country and get them situated in.
Do they have their records with them?
Yes.
I'll collect those and sit down and look over them. Are they all new recruits or?
No, actually, two of them are actually older sailors that have just come back from a ship being taken out of commission.
Okay. The
Didn't
rest
have
are
enough
new recruits?
seniority to be automatically placed on another ship. All right, so they came to the Rekidepi and basically got assigned to you guys.
Okay. So the rest of them are new recruits.
Yeah.
So their records are pretty scanty, I assume.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
when they
they've
were
done
flown in
basic
and where they
training.
trained. Yeah, when they swore in and where they did their basic training. I'll pay more attention to the other two's records.
Good night, Esong. Yeah. Can you repeat that? It just slipped out of my head.
I said I'll pay more attention in going over the other two's records.
Yeah, they have no major disciplinary actions or anything like that. Minor disciplines, of course, tardiness and general laziness, but you even had that on your record, so you just got an officer who didn't like you once. Right, so right, nothing of serious note. All right, both have seen action against the orcs.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I'll call them in to like the little duty office or whatever and sit them down.
Yep. They come in, salute, and wait to be addressed.
At ease. Take a seat.
Thank you, sir. They sit down.
So I was going over your records, and I noticed that you have action against the orcs.
Since orcish pirates, sir.
I wanted you to tell me what that was like.
It was harrowing.
Harrowing.
So they're big. Orcs are big, man. I mean, sir.
Sorry, I was a sergeant not too long ago there, so.
He says, that's probably why you seem so down to earth, sir.
Okay. Speak freely. Tell me what it was like.
He says, they're big. He says, they're frightening. He says, you don't really know how big an orc is until it gets throwing an axe at you.
Yeah, I could see that.
He says, not afraid of them, sir. He says, but I'm wary enough.
Well, how do they fight? What do they do?
He says they're berserkers. He says they fight in overwhelming rage. He says, and they don't go down. I've seen them have limbs lopped off and continue fighting.
But I take it that comes at a cost of discipline and...
I'm certain, he says. Their ships are not anywhere near as disciplined as ours are. He says they're sloppy, to say the least.
I guess that makes sense. Do they seem resilient to you? Like
the hulls or the orcs?
Well, both, I guess. I mean,
the hulls they use are usually stolen human designs. Right? He says, right, the orcs themselves seem pretty resilient. Yeah, they're dense fleshed. He says the other guy.
Yeah, I get that. How about their morale? One of our favorite tactics on this ship is the decapitation strike. How's that seem to work against them?
Take out their captains?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll demoralize the hell out of them.
Okay. So where were these pirates?
He says, well, these ones were on the border between here and Windsmere.
Okay. So were they just pirating everybody, or
Apparently, they didn't fly anybody's flag.
okay? All right. Well, thank you for the information. I've never actually had a chance to fight orcs myself, and
Ah,
I fought ogres and I fought slavers, but even some human pirates, but no orcs yet. So always looking to gain some information.
so if you fought an ogre, then you know how to fight big things. He says the orcs like to keep ogres for like shock troops on their ship.
That's good to know.
FYI, there is no direct passage between Draconia and Windsmere. The closest would probably be Chrysalis, but they may
Okay, then
have
that's what he
followed
said.
the system.
Between here and Chrysalis. I thought there was one to Windsmere from here, but I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. I just figured I'd clarify.
Yeah.
Link to the map going in the chat.
Okay. Well, that's all I have. We'll get you settled in and get you trained up on the procedures here on the ship. We're really short-handed right now, so with your experience, I expect you all to pull a little bit extra weight here. What are these guys' ranks?
One is a corporal. The other is, do we have lance corporals in this?
Yeah, we have Lance Corporals. We have,
The other one is a lance corporal.
So at the moment, you're the sum total of our non-coms.
Uh-huh.
Most of the Marine contingent went off with a prize ship.
Right.
So it's you two and a bunch of new recruits and some officers. So I'll expect you all to pull the weight of being non-coms.
I can handle that, sir, says the corporal. Lance corporal nods.
I'll expect you, Corporal, to take over the calisthenics training of the other Marines, and I'm sure that Major Wintermist will agree with that.
All right. Yes,
I've been
sir.
doing it up to now, but that'll be on your shoulders.
Yes,
I expect them to be taught and in shape.
I agree, sir.
Very well, you guys can be dismissed. Go get settled in. I believe they're using 2 of the barracks rooms for right now until the rest of the contingents get back on board.
Okay.
Feel free to use the sergeant's quarters.
All right. Thank you,
That'll probably change.
Yeah, probably.
I've got to get it. I'll get a message off to the major though, and let her know you're here.
Avalon. Yeah, that sounds like a dismissal, so they salute and head out.
Yep. And I'll pen a quick message to Celine letting her know what I did and who's there, and send it off with Karak.
Yeah.
Well, that should be enough. Enlisted guys to cover all the watches, so we won't have to stand topside anymore.
Yep.
All right. I'll check the watch roster and pen in the additional names.
Okay.
And then you'll get Yasma to countersign it, since she's actually duty officer.
Yeah.
And of course, if you think about it, with him sending Karak off, they're going to be going, right, don't piss off that lieutenant or that ensign.
Yeah.
And I guess we'll just stand our watch then.
Okay. The rest of you go dancing. Dancing. Dancing.
Yep.
Yep.
Put on some ciggies that are good for dancing.
Yep.
What do normal elves think about joining the Navy? What is the expectation? Most elves don't like it. most elves have no use for the Navy in their own personal lives, right? Roughly 5% of the elves in the Empire are part of the Navy, right? It swells up during wartime to roughly 10%, but yeah. Barbarossa was asking.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, and of course that varies with community. Like, there are some communities that are basically Navy communities.
Yeah, where like 30% of the people in the community are part of the Navy. You know?
Which is huge.
Yeah.
And there's naval families.
Well, yeah.
Well, it often works that way in militaries, right?
Mm-hmm. By army
Followed by noble families who it's tradition to send at least one person in the family, one child to the Navy.
Yep, that's true. Often, younger noble who isn't in the direct line of inheritance, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's to answer your question there, Sparkles. Okay, I gotta check this.
What are you checking?
The lag on my thing here.
Yeah, it's been some pretty good lag on my end most of the night.
Yeah, I've got about a 5-minute lag, I think it is.
5 minutes?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the internet down there this evening.
Next time I picked up my pipe, turned on my camera, smoked my pipe for a few minutes, put it down. By the time I put it down,
it was just starting to go up.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. It seemed to me that Esong's questions came a few minutes after too. So tonight, babe, when you go off air, right? Make sure, I think, to run the stream ending screen for a couple of minutes, so that we don't end up cutting off the end of the game, so that people don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're going dancing.
Yes.
Yep.
Where does he take us to?
He takes you to a dance hall, right? It's a large open building, basically, right, with a vaulted roof on the top of it, right, and braziers around the outside, chandeliers on the inside, right, and on one end is a band, like a big band.
Nice.
Right, and people are dancing. It's almost like swing dancing.
Ah, so it ain't got that thing if it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that swing.
Do up. Yeah.
Celine kind of boxed the beat for a minute, kind of getting a feel for it. People are doing some pretty crazy stuff. Do we have any, like, hop and dance music there in the background music?
I don't know.
Anything that we're allowed to air?
Yeah. I don't know. I could put some, like, techno funk on.
Techno funk? I think not. I don't know. so Barbarossa just now got the answer to your question.
That took about 3 minutes.
Yikes. That leg is disgraceful.
Yep, it sure the hell of is.
Just throw something on with some bounce, go wow.
I don't have anything like that.
Well, do some dancing. Go find a place to dance. The Illyri are bizarre, by the way. The Illyri will do like aerial acrobatics with their dancing. Clearly, if they didn't have something like swing, they would have had to invent it, you know.
Yep.
Well, come on, she says to Esteban, show me how you cut a rug.
It's all right. He'll take her out on the dance floor.
Yep.
He can
Check it
dance.
Nice.
He can
She's
dance.
more about enthusiasm than ability.
Oh, he's also strong enough to pick her up and toss her around a bit.
Oh, well, she'll have fun with this. She laughs when she's tossing the hair.
Yeah. He doesn't even break a sweat. He gets a little glow on.
Okay, so remind me how long after the Butcher Ages War this is, babe?
175 years.
So is there a certain black-winged Illyrian lurking about the court?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, he was there right from the beginning, basically. He was on the ship when Tazarak got fucking captured by the elves.
Gotcha. Okay, so I guess after they go back to the punch bowl or whatever, I don't know who all's there, or if other people are out dancing, but whoever's there hears this, you know, rather deep-pitched voice say, I haven't seen you out at the dance hall in some time, that's wrong.
He says, Your Highness.
Yeah, you see this guy, he's, let's see, what would he, I don't know, he's wearing pretty average, court clothes in jewel tones, I imagine, by this time. Right? You know, finely dressed, but it's kind of hard to differentiate, like, you wouldn't have been sure if it was a lord or a highness.
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't dress up. You know. He just looks natural in these clothes.
He's got simple, you know, like minor jewelry, right? And it has big black wings. He has dark eyes and dark hair. The hair is shaved at the sides and pulled back in a ponytail.
Yeah, a mullet.
Not really a mullet because it's actually shaved.
Yeah. Yeah, shaved pretty short. Yeah, he says, Your Highness, allow me to introduce you to my sisters.
Sisters? I didn't know you had sisters.
Neither did I until recently.
Interesting. He says, well met. I'm Huon Tesseract Troy.
Pleased to meet you, says Ruvel. I'm Ruvel Sunfall. This is my brother Xerxes.
Yeah, he does an elven bow.
Yeah.
You know, arms over the decides to palm forward, open bow. I'm Celine Weakness. Nice to meet you. She says, Your Highness? It's a courtesy title these days, since I haven't really been a highness in some time. Anybody else introduce themselves?
I think the gentleman will be on the dance floor.
Okay.
Well, I had to throw him in because if the character's accurate, he's nosy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likes to know what's going on.
I'm Vonvin.
Pleased to meet you, Bob. He, again.
Oh yeah, Lindy Hop is what they do.
As she returns the bow.
Well, Andy dragged me out here, as you would imagine. She's around someplace, but she was having a conversation with a whole gaggle of Carmelites last I saw them. He says, I went for wine.
He says, why do you allow her to drag you out to these things if you don't enjoy it?
He shrugs. He says, I didn't say I didn't enjoy it. Just that she dragged me out, he says.
We were told we should meet the Andy Lyra, says.
Ah, well, I'll be happy to introduce you, he says. Sunfall. Nods.
Yes, Ruvel. And Xerxes.
He says, I think I met your father once.
I feel for you. He said,
Well,
not even missing a beat.
He chuckles. He says, well, he didn't make a favorable impression. It's true.
He says, he couldn't make a favorable impression upon consumption. He says.
Sounds like you have a very similar relationship to your father that I have with mine. I can identify with that, he says.
Yeah. My father thinks I'm an embarrassment, he says.
Mine thought I was an embarrassment too, he says. Perhaps I even was.
He says, well, yeah, I think if being non-prejudiced is being an embarrassment, then I'm an embarrassment, I guess.
Nods. Well, I wasn't going to point out that it's unusual to see Elfar and she dating, he says, but...
Yeah, it's unusual to see she and Slua dating too, but that's happening over there. Says points at...
Raises an eyebrow, nods. You think perhaps approvingly.
We don't stand by with too much prejudice around here. He says we don't like it. He says, I'm introducing you to my really good friend Lurik.
How do you do, he says. Hey, see, it takes him a minute and then he extends his hand.
Take his hand to introduce. So, I'm Lark, just kind of puffing away on a cigar.
Well met, he says. Nods. I like the restaurant. Come, I'll introduce you to Andy, he says.
Okay.
he does fetch wine.
Yep.
Brings you guys over to an area where there's this gaggle is accurate, because they're all talking a mile a minute.
Yep. And Andy's standing in the middle of them on a table, holding like 4 conversations.
Yeah, you guys have not met Andy in this game yet, right?
No, I don't believe they have.
Nope.
She's about, what, 3.5
3
feet
feet
tall?
3 feet. 2 feet 11 inches. She's adorably cute. Busty. Alright,
Red hair, nature's warning sign.
yeah, red hair, nature's warning sign. Big purple, blue, and red butterfly wings.
Let me know when Karak gets the message.
Yeah, that's about when Krog comes in with your message.
Oh, sorry, excuse me.
People are like staring at the shark that just came in the window. In the door.
It reads the message.
Yeah, it says that there's been some new recruits and...
Oh, did Arian want me to go back there, Karak, or did he want me to wait till the morning?
He looks at Esteban, then looks at you.
I suddenly wish I spoke shark. Well, I'll tell you what, he says. Are you wanting to hang around here? She says, giving him a gentle pat kind of thing.
He shakes his head.
Okay. She says, so if he wanted me to come, then lead me to the door, and if he didn't, then you might as well head off out the window the way you came.
Yeah, he does. Heads out the window.
Great.
Right.
The Black-Winged Deliri just waits until this is all done.
Yep.
Sorry about that, she says. Something important? No, it's important, but it's been taken care of, she says. Nods. He says, Andy, he says.
Oh, hi. She says, I found some friends.
I see.
Sorry, I was trying to get back to you, but people were talking to me.
I understand. He passes her a glass of wine.
Thank you.
He says, I would like to introduce you to Esteban's family.
Esteban has family outside of Selnar?
Apparently.
Well, that's gossip, she says.
Uh-oh, says Celine quietly.
Oh dear.
Yes. You're Esteban's family?
His sisters.
Neat. Yeah. You're much prettier than him.
Thank you, she said.
You're welcome.
You're much prettier than him, she says, indicating along with her eyes. He chuckles.
That's because you haven't seen him dance.
Which is why she drags me to these things, he says. I do like to dance, I can't deny that, he says.
As do I, says Esteban.
I should leave you to it, he says. Do you want to dance, Andy? Or wait, no, you probably want to talk to them now, he says.
Yeah, I want to talk to them now. You go dance.
With whom, he says.
I don't know why you asked one of them to dance with you.
He says, because they'd run away.
They would not. They're brave.
Nonsense.
See? Hi, what was your name? It's Von Bin. Would you dance with my boyfriend?
Would you care to dance?
Sure.
Sounds like setting a for.
I'd be delighted, she says.
Should be a leader out of the dance floor, and yeah, that's all right.
Yes, he cuts a rug. He's strong enough to toss you around.
You can. I'm sure.
Yeah, she might know something about this guy.
Yeah, since she named her cat after him.
Yes, and why did she name her cat after him?
I did have her long.
Sneaky.
Because he tried to steal a chainmail shirt that belonged to a 300-pound man
No,
when he was a
yes,
kitten.
he did.
Well, he
Steal a
tried.
chainmail.
He was pulling it across the floor as a kitten.
Grunar's chainmail
Yes.
shirt?
Yes.
Yup.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I know how big that was and how heavy
Actually,
it is.
he'd gotten away quite a fair distance with it before he got noticed.
Slow and steady does the trick. Just keep moving. Don't stop. Don't look up. Don't look around. Just keep moving.
Yeah, for those who don't know, our friend Grunar was 6'8" and 300 pounds. And this was a chainmail shirt designed for him. And this cat made off of it.
Kitten.
Kitten, no less.
Yeah, and he had, what was it? 16-inch biceps?
It's big man.
Oh yeah.
16-inch biceps are not that big.
Well, he had big biceps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Von Bin dances. In the meantime, Andy is here to root us for gossip, I suppose.
Yeah. Let me up.
Okay.
I got there's anything. I can still hear him. It's just not as loud.
Yeah, fair enough. But, you know, it's not this huge cough over here.
That's true.
And I see Barbarossa's comment about phone noise. Yes, my mom, I love her very much, but she cannot remember what nights are game nights and what nights and days it is okay to work weekend. She simply seems to be incapable of remembering it. If I thought it was an emergency, I would answer it, but what she wants to do is babble at me, and she's already done it today, so.
Yep. And she's dyscalculate, so she can't remember dates or.
Yeah. I tell her she should know it's Sunday, but So I apologize for the noise.
Yeah.
We're used to it.
Okay, so.
But I can't turn the phone off just in case it is an emergency.
Right.
Right, so.
If it's an emergency, her emergency line will phone us.
Anyway. Yes. And he was like, well, that's gossip.
Yep. She goes, so, what's news?
I don't know what would qualify as news.
Who are you?
Celine Wintermist.
Celine Wintermist, eh?
Yes.
And Von Bin? What's her last name?
Starsong.
Okay. And you are? She says, looking at Yasma.
Yasma's not there.
All right. And you are? Looking at Lilas?
Who's on the dance floor still? I guess we can be coming off the dance floor now.
Yeah.
Madrimlian. And you're my lady?
I'm not your lady. She's your lady. She says. Then she giggles. She says, "My name's Andy."
Right. I'm surrounded by jokers.
Can someone remind me why we were supposed to talk to her, by the way?
Information on the sword, but you talked to Carmen.
Right.
Carmen just said that you'd like to meet her because she's neat.
Right. She says, if you don't mind me saying so, you and His Highness seem sort of an odd couple.
She says, "We are." She says, "I'm mostly a lesbian," she says. "I just love my oolong."
Okay, she says.
She says, "To be honest, I'm not a lesbian, I'm just scared of men."
Okay.
And I cover it up with bluster and bravado and stuff like that, and I'm just not scared of him. I know he'd never hurt me.
Other people are, she says.
Yeah, he's a famous assassin.
Oh, she says.
He's retired, don't worry about it.
Okay, she says.
He likes to cultivate his creepy demeanor, but I buy him clothes, and he has to wear the clothes I give him because they're gifts. So.
Okay, she says.
That's why he's got colorful clothes on, because he had we're going out dancing. Otherwise, he'd wear all black, like Esteban. Even Esteban spruces it up with some mithril.
He says, well, I figure I've got a right to make commentary on odd couples.
Yeah, you're a bit of an odd couple, eh? Not nearly as odd as Madrimlian and what was your name? Mariama, she says. Mariama. What kind of a name is Madrimlian? Who names their kid Madrimlian?
That's my name. I don't like my first name.
Why not?
It's the same as my father's.
Oh. Well, my first name's Andy Alira. What's yours?
Lilas.
Lilas is a good name.
So, Lilas Madrimlian Jr. I'll go with Madrimlian, thank you.
He's always hated it. I don't really know, but it's his thing, she says.
Okay, I won't call you that then.
Thank you.
Yeah. She says, so, what's news?
Well, I don't know. What would qualify as news?
I don't know, why are you here?
She says, to meet our brother.
She says, how'd you get here?
Spaceship, she says.
Neat, I like spaceships, she says. I've only ever been on one. We got, like, taken over, she says.
Madrimlian's going, okay.
Gotta be honest with you, we were pirating and I got arrested.
You were traveling with the Alliers, she says.
Yeah, she says.
We brought back some of the dead. She says.
Oh, she says, yeah. Well, that's
I'm
trauma.
sorry for your losses.
It's okay, she says. It was a long time ago. Like 40 years.
Yeah, Celine agrees in her head. That was a long time ago, considering I think she was 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which is about the elf equivalent of 5, you know.
And Madrimlian was 9.
She says, so you're the mistress of song here.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean exactly?
I'm the head of the Carbonite Church, she says.
Oh, Oh, neat, she says.
I am in charge of all of the arts and sciences in the Illyria territories. Oh, we're calling it Alara now. She says.
Ah, okay.
I heard you've got quite the extensive library.
Well, actually, my wife has quite the extensive library. That's because she's like the High Templar of Veldalock.
Oh, I see, she says. And he was a god too. Mm-hmm. Okay. He's not too sure about this Illyria.
And so she has his library, and he's been collecting his library for thousands of years. Like 3,000.
Neat.
I know, they're ancient, old, like your dad.
Well, he gets pretty good for an old guy, I'd say.
They do, they're pretty good. I call them fart dusters anyways.
Okay, Selena laughs outright with that. She thinks that's hilarious.
Magillian is a little taken aback. It's like, where's the respect?
Selena thinks
Oh, there they come.
Yep.
Bonvin and Oolong coming off the dance floor.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you very much for that, he says. That was addressed to Bonvin.
I'm sorry you broke up a little. Could you repeat? Satellite internet.
Oh, no problem. Oolong said that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for that.
It was. Thank you.
You're a lucky man, he says to Xerxes.
I know it, he says. In all honesty.
Smiles, nods. He says. So has Andy managed to decant the secrets of the universe from you yet?
Why would I do that? And if I did, you think I'd tell you?
No, but they might, he says. Why do I get the feeling that you both look for similar information? It's just you have different ways of going about it, says Sweet.
He goes, we both look for gossip.
Yeah. So does Carmen.
Yeah, where do you think I learned it? She says.
He nods, he says she's always been like that, to be fair.
This is her brother.
Yes, he says.
This is Carmen's brother.
Nods.
We had a very pleasant ship ride with her on her.
Yeah, she's the one that told him that you were here. That's why we're here. He didn't really want to go out dancing. He just wanted to come out and see you guys.
I would have gone because of
He's trying to get out of it, but this was his idea.
He shrugs, he says, well, it isn't every day that you suddenly learn about 3 more heirs to the crown of the stars, he says.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know about them, he says. Forgive me, perhaps I should have been direct about that to start with, he says.
Nothing to know about, they're just women.
He smiles, he says, the elves are an important power in space and here on Draconia, he He says, it is important to know that the succession is in good hands. He says, I like Selmaris Kimani. He says, he's an old friend. I suppose I just wanted to assure myself that his heirs were also people I would like. He says,
Well, I like him, so you better, she says.
He says, I think I do.
Good.
He says, be careful of making that publicly known, however. And he looks
Yeah, we're not going to tell anybody about this, because that would be just a bad thing, she says. And you get, like, all sorts of problems. No end to it.
But Madrima just does a sigh of relief.
That's good to know, says Sweet. I was beginning to get concerned. He says, trouble that I'm sure you do not need. People courting your favor and then manipulating the situation behind your back. He says, assassination attempts at magical control. He gets it, he says. Celine looks a bit alarmed because she's thinking about what happens. He raises an eyebrow. He says, courts can be... Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you. He says.
Oh, okay, that sounds like a fairly accurate threat assessment based on what I learned from Little Star Elf School.
He nods. He says there are those who will do just about anything for power. He says, although really they're a bit like... Oh, I don't know. He says large dogs chasing a dragon. He says if they caught one, what would they do with it? He says, but yes, I've certainly seen enough of it, so if I might give you a little bit of advice, he says, be careful who you trust.
You're right, Mrs. Robot. We've been pretty lucky so far, though.
Clearly you have good people looking out for you. That's a good thing, he says.
And we
And he
have a
says-
very strict no going off by yourself policy.
Yeah.
Also a good idea, he says.
So we've all seen the plays. He says. The operas. You know, it's always the guy who's off pining on his own that gets visited by the Valkyries.
That may be more true than you realize, he says.
Right.
A good point, he says. You've been quiet, he says to Esteban.
He says, I've just been listening to you talk to my sisters.
He nods.
He says, I think, oh, I'm sorry guys, that was an unexpected yawn. I think
It
that...
is 9 p.m.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember what I was going to say now. Well, we'll pick it up here when we next pick up.
Okay.
And do you have anything you guys want to do while you're doing your watch or anything there? Arian and Yasma? Or should I just speed through some time and get the party back together now and moving on something?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I guess Arian would have taken the time to look at the star maps of where He was told the pirates are.
Yeah. Okay.
But other than that, yeah, just get us back.
You bet.
All right, I'll close the raffle since we're winding
Waffle
down.
is closed.
Last
I'm
chance to
gonna-
enter here, I guess. Well, actually, I probably
Turn
shouldn't
on the
because we're
credits.
3 minutes behind, aren't we?
Yeah. Well,
So if I
it's past 9, so close the waffle.
close the waffle, it's probably pretty close to it.
We're gonna head out, guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, see you
Okay,
later, hon.
good night, guys. Sleep well. I know
See
it's
you later,
late
guys.
for you.
Good night.
Entries are closed. And the winner is...
Dun dun dun! Barbarossa Sparkler!
Congratulations, Barbarossa Sparklebeard. So, you know how this works? Contact me over Discord or a Twitch Whisper or on my Twitter, which is @SableRadia. Sorry, excuse me. Just a sec. Okay, sorry about that. Right, and I will see you get a copy of the story. All right, so does anybody have any thoughts about the game before we call this to a close for the evening? How do you guys feel about what happened?
Meeting a lot of notable people.
Oh, yeah.
Well, the thing about it is that you just met the two nosiest people in Alara.
Yep. That is true.
And they're a couple.
Of course they are. I didn't realize Rulon was such a gossip when you guys were back.
He's not. He's an information collector. He likes to learn information. He doesn't like to tell people it.
He and Madrimlian are a lot alike. He
Yeah.
thinks like Madrimlian wants to learn how to think.
Right.
And it's kind of important to know
The meeting was unavoidable.
Yeah, that's true. Right? He will eventually twig to you guys and will want to know about it because, he was being direct. It's important. The elves are a big power. It's important to know what's going on in their leadership work that could be happening in their leadership.
Yeah.
So, it was pretty much inevitable when we were here. If he was around, he would eventually cross paths with you.
Yep. Okay, anybody else with any other thoughts?
Not really.
Looking forward to pirate hunting next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get into some actual fights.
Yep.
I'll have to remember to make up some bad guys. I have a couple of bad guys. Did you happen to write down the names that I gave you there, Chris?
I did.
Okay, good. I took them out of a book of pirates, so... They're like pre-generated pirates for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it was a ghost ship with the dead and the demons.
Right.
The pirate queen, Jisa, Wave Chaser,
Right.
and Roxas.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, well, how did everyone else feel about the game? Or what's going on with their character? Or did they have anything they wanted to be working on?
Nothing that I can immediately think of. It was neat to meet Oolong, though I kind of expected it to happen at some point, so.
Yeah,
Except you didn't meet him there, Arden.
that wasn't Arden.
That was Lurk, and Lurk did.
Yep.
Lurk did. Sorry.
Oolong shook his hand, so yeah, they met.
Haha, Brianna pulls a me.
Wired.
It's even worse. They grew up around her.
Yeah.
She should be able to recognize them apart by now.
Usually do. It's just there was interference in the voice.
Sure, excuses.
Yep, that's what my sign. I'm sticking to it.
Alright, if that's everybody's final thoughts, then I guess we're ready for the final credits.
Yeah.
Oh, and do we know who we're rating?
Who was up? We got Coffee. That's about it.
Okay, and I guess we are rating Coffee. Alright.
But I have too.
I'll just get that set up. Alright, Toy Soldiers Old School is game mastered by Aaron Reed, based on the Toy Soldiers Saga universe, created by Diane Morrison. Audio and video is provided by Google Meet. Sound effects and ambience provided by Sirenscape. Music provided by White Sand. Check out his Patreon at patreon.com/whitesand. Mapping software provided by Campaign Cartographer 3+, Incarnate, and World Spinner with adaptations in Adobe Photoshop. Character graphics provided by Hero Forge. Gaming software provided by Fantasy Grounds, Hero Lab, and World Anvil. Check out our campaign at